What is going on, Schwayze gang? Welcome back to another episode. In today's video, we're going to be discussing something I've wanted to talk about for a while, and that is a list of 5 things that my 2018 Toyota Rav4 comes with that my 2020 Hellcat does not. Back in the garage, and instead of the fiance's Range Rover, we have the 2018 Toyota Rav4. I have been wanting to make this video for a while, and I thought what better time than as I'm in the process of selling my Rav4. If you guys aren't up to speed on what's been going on in the channel, well, I recently acquired a 2021 Ford Bronco, and it has been an absolute blast. But unfortunately, with that means I do not need a second daily driver, which means I am selling the 2018 Toyota Rav4. So the time that you're gonna see this vehicle on the channel is limited. So if you happen to have any questions that I have not answered, make sure you leave them in the comments below, and I'll try my best to do a video before it's gone. Now, I'm actually gonna really miss this car because it did pretty much everything well. You know, it was roomy, it was comfortable, fuel efficient. It was like the perfect daily driver. Way better than what the Bronco is gonna be, but I feel like you guys are gonna enjoy the Bronco content a little bit more. But before I let go of this car, I wanted to talk about some of the really cool features that come with this car that did not come with the Hellcat. To give you a frame of reference, I have the window stickers right here, and for the 2018 Toyota RAV4, the purchase price is $26,000, and after I add in the options of the roof rail, which is $190, and the carpet floor mats, which are more expensive than the roof rails, it comes in at $27,519. Really one of the cheapest RAV4s you can buy, and that was my goal with finding this vehicle. I wanted to find a super cheap daily driver, and this accomplished that above and beyond. Now for comparison, let's look at the MSRP of the Hellcat, which is $78,560. So the difference between the two is, well, this one's almost 3 times more expensive than this one. And yet, this one has about 5 features that this car either is not equipped on this vehicle or isn't even offered as an option from Dodge for this vehicle or the Charger. So let's kick it off in no particular order. The first feature that the 2018 RAV4 comes with that the Hellcat does not is adaptive cruise control. Now, if you guys aren't familiar, adaptive cruise control is using a sensor, which it actually has in the Toyota emblem, and it mimics the same speed as the vehicle in front of you. If that car slows down, my RAV4 slows down as well. If it speeds up, it speeds back up to speed. And there's actually several different settings in this vehicle that allow you to regulate the distance that you have between the vehicle in front of you. I did have adaptive cruise control on my 2017 Scat Pack. That was an option that was part of, I believe, the Dynamics or the technology package, and it is still an option for you to purchase on the Hellcat, but it is not an option on the Toyota. It comes standard. Toyota includes a lot of safety features that come standard on the car, and adaptive cruise control is one of the many that come equipped on a very base model Toyota. Now, for daily driving purposes, it has been very useful. If I am taking it on a road trip or driving to work, I can pretty much set it to autonomous driving on the freeway, and it will take it down, I believe, to either 15 or 10 miles an hour. It will not stop the car completely, but it does a majority of the acceleration and deceleration when you're driving on the highway. And the buttons are really well laid out on the steering wheel. You actually use these buttons right here to regulate the distance in front of the car, and then this stock down here is how you turn on the cruise control. Now, I will also mention that if you do not like adaptive cruise control, if you hold this button down for, I believe, 5 seconds, it will just turn on the regular cruise control, which you can operate using the stock down here for up and down, and then this will not really function because you don't need the adaptive functionality. Now, the second thing that this vehicle has that my almost $80,000 Hellcat does not is lane keep assist. Now, I'm sure you're noticing a trend here with the safety features, but safety is a really big part of why you purchase a new vehicle. So that is why I want to talk about it. Now, this vehicle not only has a lane departure warning, so on the center display, it will show you whether you cross the left or the right lane, but it also has lane keep assist, which means it actually moves the steering wheel ever so slightly. If you end up crossing the left or right lane, it will actually push the steering wheel back to center the vehicle within the lane. And that is a really cool technology. Now, you can shut all of this off. Like I showed earlier, you can turn off the adaptive cruise control. You can also turn off the lane keep assist. But when you're driving on a long road trip, if you get distracted or if you happen to maybe get tired or something like that, it will actually move you back into the lane and keep you centered. And it's a really cool safety feature to have, especially for a vehicle that only costs $27,000. Now, the Hellcat does not even have that as an option. Like I said, it does have adaptive cruise control. This one does not, but there is no option for a lane keep assist or a lane departure warning system on the Challenger that I know of. They don't even sell that. That's not even an option you can buy. Speaking of tiredness, that brings me to the third thing this vehicle has, and that is a tiredness meter and alert system. So what it does is it monitors the way you're driving, and on the center display, let me show you inside. So on the center meter, it will actually show you, whether you should pull over and it may be best to get some rest or a cup of coffee because you're driving a little bit weird. Now, I've had this happen to me before, not because I was tired, but I was actually driving in a canyon and it tracks the lanes left and right. And if you're weaving in and out of the lanes because of the canyon curves, it's gonna automatically think that you're tired and you're weaving in and out of lanes just because you're sleepy. And that was not the case. And I had that happen where it gave me the alert that it's probably best for me to pull over and get some rest. But nonetheless, a really nice feature to have that, the Hellcat does not have, and it does not even offer in any of the packages to have that type of a feature. My Mercedes C300 did have that option, and seeing as how, the Challenger is based off of the Mercedes platform, I am surprised that they don't have that as an option, even though the Mercedes I had was a later model Mercedes than what the Challenger platform was built upon. But I guess Dodge just thinks you're going to be mashing the pedal to the floor, so there's no way you could be falling asleep with 717 horsepower. The number 4 thing is automatic high beams. Yes, the standard Toyota Rav4 in the LE trim, which is the cheapest one you can get, has automatic high beams. It can tell when there's a vehicle in front of you, how far away they are, and the high beams turn on and off as necessary depending on traffic. It's a really nice feature. It doesn't work seamlessly, but every single automatic high beam system that I've had has not worked seamlessly. There's definitely some kinks in it, and sometimes it does not shut off when there's vehicles approaching you. But nonetheless, it is very nice to have from a safety and convenience standpoint because you don't have to constantly keep switching it. And living up in the mountains here in Utah, it is nice to have that feature. Although I don't believe the headlights actually turn left or right as you're turning the steering wheel. That's something that comes on more expensive models. Now, the Hellcat does have that as an option. I believe it's with the technology group that comes with the adaptive cruise control. But mine does not. It's just the old school, you pull the stock forward and that's the high beams, and then you pull it back to turn them off. Since it's never a seamless system, regardless of what manufacturer you go with, I don't complain too much about it, but it would be nice to have automatic high beams and automatic rain sensing windshield wipers on a car at this price point. Now, for the 5th thing that this vehicle has, and that has nothing to do with safety, it's really just kind of being cheap on Dodge's end, in my opinion, and that is privacy glass. So what I'm talking about is also known as window tint. This vehicle from the factory comes with window tint on the back windows. You obviously have some privacy glass, the rear near the trunk, and the rear windshield as well. This keeps the interior a little bit cooler in the summertime, and you can store your valuables in here and not have any issues. The front looks like it might be a little bit tinted, but definitely within legal limits. Even if it's not tinted, it's still nice to have the rear seats. The Hellcat, on the other hand, I made a video about me getting the paint protection film on the front and the window tint all in one, and it's a little disappointing that a car at this price point does not come with privacy glass from the factory. I understand that this one's a little bit different because you have 2 rows and then you have a trunk, and this one only has this little window back here for the rear seats. But regardless, 99% of people are going to go for a window tint on this car, and I don't think anybody would complain if this vehicle came with just a legal limit on the front and the back. Just something to make it different. Now, I get mine's a little bit darker than most people would probably do, but having window tint is a pretty cheap option from the manufacturer, but it's just extra cost for the buyer, and that's something that they really should have thrown in, especially on a Hellcat at this price point. Okay, now I'm going to give you one more item that makes this car a little bit of a better value than the Hellcat, and that is Toyota Care. Toyota Care is a 2-year, 25,000 mile service agreement that you have every single time you buy a new Toyota, and it covers all of your service. So that includes oil changes, filters, tire rotations, all the inspections. That's all included with every new purchase of a Toyota. And so since I'm just under 30,000 miles, I have yet to actually pay for a single service on this vehicle. Now, I have not yet taken this car in because it doesn't have enough miles for me to take it in for its first service. But from what I recall about my Scat Pack and all SRT products, it costs about $110, $120 here in the state of Utah to do one single oil change on the Hellcat, versus about $100 actually on the Toyota, but that includes all the other stuff as well. But I didn't have to pay for that out of pocket. I get each dealership is different, and some dealerships do have some types of programs or package bundles that you can purchase, but Toyota is straight from the manufacturer. You can get those types of deals. So that is something that the Hellcat is lacking at $80,000 and that the Toyota has at $27,000. Okay, well, there you have it, boys and girls. Kind of a silly video because nobody is cross-shopping a Hellcat with a Toyota Rav4. I mean, they're two separate different cars, and I would never compare the two. But I thought it would be funny to talk about some of the things that this car comes with at one of the cheapest new cars you could buy versus a really expensive new car that you can buy as well. And it's just interesting to see how, you know, the sales of these cars are totally different. This is one of the best-selling vehicles because a lot of people can afford them. They're very reliable. They've got a ton of features, and I can tell why they are so best-selling. But this is one of the best-selling high-performance cars because Challengers continue to outsell their previous versions year after year. And so I thought it'd be funny to compare the two best-selling cars in their own categories. Anyways, hopefully you guys did learn some new or funny or entertaining information in today's video. I don't think you're going to use this information next time you're shopping for a new car, but it is kind of fun to talk about the differences. And if you guys haven't hit that subscribe button, make sure you do so and hit the notification bell so you can stay on top of all of the weekly content. If you haven't seen the Ford Bronco reveal video, make sure you do so because that was a really exciting event, and there's going to be plenty of more Ford Bronco videos coming your way. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Schwazy_, and stay tuned for more Hellcat, Toyota, and Bronco news coming your way.